start with this like and I like. And I also need to check one thing. I'll just show you how to upload the database. Please look at the screen and see those who have done perfectly fine, those who are still doing, those who are yet to do, please look at the screen. See, right click, and here you will get an option to restore. Okay, so format is custom or tar. Here you can mention the file name, or you can just browse the file name. Okay, so I need to browse the file name, so I'll be just a second. Or I'll just post it here. Yes, and one more thing, you guys are aware about the password thing? Are you guys aware about the password thing? Okay, so there's no doubt in the, so here it is. Yes, so this is the zip folder. I'll select it and restore it. Okay, now if you just open the databases, failed. But there is different. What is the difference between like and I like is case sensitive, where I like is case insensitive. Huh? So no matter you write in uppercase or lowercase, I like is going to give you the answer, and like is going to give you whatever you have asked for. If you have written in capital and it is present in the table, that will be given to you, else you will not be given the answer. And underscore is what matches only single character, and percent is what matches any sequence of character. Huh? So I'll show you all this through the tool. And these are the statements. If you see, these are the example statements. Meanwhile, tool starts working. So all the name that begins with A. So where name, like is the keyword, A, and then percent. So it begins with A, and after A, you can have any number of characters. So this is how we use percent. And similarly, all the names that end with A. Okay, so end with A, obviously the name which is ending with A, then A will be in small letters. So percent A, and everything should be in quotes, as you can see on the screen. Everything will be in quotes. So where name, like, and this. Okay, and like is the keyword, and you have to use it, and then in the quotes we have to mention percent, and then whatever character we want to have at the end. And next is get all Mission Impossible films. So Mission Impossible, and after that, these underscores for one character or two character. For one character, we can use one underscore, two characters, we can use two underscores. Okay. And if we want to, we can also have the combination of wildcards. We can also have the combination of wildcards where name, like, underscore, it starts with a particular character, then her is the substring, and then percentage. It's her should be the substring, and before her there is a single character, and then percent. Percent says after her we can have the like any number of characters. So as you can see, her is the substring, and then it starts with C, it starts with T, it starts with H. Is it clear to all of you? Like and I like? All right, so let's see what is next. Aggregate functions are next. So aggregate functions, let me just check with the, thank you. Hanji. So aggregate function is basically the main idea is behind aggregate function is to take multiple inputs and return a single output. Multiple inputs is like suppose we want to calculate the sum of a file. So in the file we'll be having multiple inputs. So we will just take the inputs from the file and calculate the sum and will present it to the user. So this is how it works. Multiple inputs are there and single output is there. And aggregate functions are like average, returns the average. Round can be used to specify precision after the decimal. And here is in between the brackets, you write the number to which extent you want to round it off. Then count will give you the number of count, max, min, and sum. You guys are familiar with it. You need to create another database and then restore the database in it. But it works. Let's try that way. For me, it worked like this as well. Yes. Still, I can't see tables. Yes, thank you. So it's configured finally. Sorry for the inconvenience because, okay, so now see. Like and I like. Okay, you want me to like previous, all the commands are executed, right? Or is there any doubt from the previous commands? Previous commands are executed, right? All clear. Okay, chalo, let's start with this now. So this is from the customer table. As you can see, select star from customer where first name starts from J, and after that any number of characters can be there. So just let's select and execute this. And here, as you can see, just because we are selecting everything from the customer table. So as you can see, this is the output. All the names which are starting with J, and after J, there's no limit on the length of the names. Is it all right? Okay. And now let's say if we want to put in another condition, which is first name starting with J and last name starting with S, small s. And okay, like is case sensitive or not case sensitive? What about like? What should be what is the difference between like and unlike? Like is case sensitive or not case sensitive? Case insensitive. I like. Okay, so it is case sensitive, then all the last name should start with S. Now there are two conditions which should be satisfied. So let's say how it differs. Here you can see last name, and now last name should start with S, small s. It was S, okay, capital S. Now you can see how the database is, how the subset is created. Only 5 rows are here. Okay. Now if it would have been small s, let's see. So there is no surname, no last name starting with small s. And let's go back to this. Okay, next query is same, starting with small s. Okay, so its output is null. We have checked already. Let's execute again. No output. And now if we see I like, so I like is case insensitive. Yes. Now is it clear? Okay. Now from the this percent part, see ER is the substring which should be there in the output. On the left and right, there can be anything. That's why this percent sign is used. Okay. And see in the output, you can see ER. It is in the middle, it is in the end, it is at the last. So this percent says 0 or no character. Okay, this percent says 0 or no character. There can be 0 character, there can be 1, there can be 2 up to n, and it includes 0 as well. Okay, but if you see, let's just check this. This underscore means 1 character only. So now if you see, Hanji. So there is only 1 character and after that ER is there. Okay. What if we put 2 underscores? How is it going to change? Can you see 2 characters are there before ER? But all the characters where ER was the second, E was the second character, ER, second, third character, those who have been omitted. Okay, so underscore is single character. Underscore is single character, whereas percent is 0 or more characters. Okay, let's see what is next. Okay, order by, and that we have to order by you have done now. Let's see. Order by last name. So it will sorted by last name. Hanji, can you see last name part? First A and then B and then C, D. So all these are ordered by last name, whereas first name is beginning with A. Okay. So is there any doubt now in like and not like and I like? Is there any doubt? Then please post it in the Padlet. It's clear? Thank you. So kind of you. Execute the line 14 and 15 again. Okay. See. So it says any number of characters before ER and after ER. ER should be the substring. So if you see here, ER is the substring. Here ER is at the last. Yahan ER is at the in between. Here ER is in the between. Here in the last. Here in between. So ER can be anywhere, and this person means 0 or more character. This also includes 0. Now is it clear? Now is it clear, Nilanjan? All right. Chalo, let's see now aggregate functions. So aggregate functions, we know we have number of inputs and we have one output. So let's see what the film database is. First of all, this is the film table. 1000 rows and 82 columns are there. It is showing here 1000 rows are there. Okay. Now let's select the minimum of replacement cost from the film. As you can see, you have replacement cost here. This is the column replacement cost. Here it is. And we have to find the minimum replacement cost from the table film. So let's just execute this. So this is the minimum cost, 9.99. Okay. Similarly, we can select the maximum cost as well. This is 29.9. And here, if you see in the next query, we are selecting maximum and minimum both. Let's see. So this is how it is represented. There is a column max and there is a column min, and they both are containing the maximum. Max value is there in the max column, min value is there in the min column. Okay. Now let's see average replacement cost. So this is 0, but this should not be 0. Here it will be. Reason being, actually this is giving the integer value. Okay, so integer value is coming out to be 0, but if we are taking round of it, then it is coming out to be correct output is there. So this is how we calculate the average. And if we want to calculate the sum of all the replacement cost from the fill, we will sum it, and this is the sum of all the replacement costs so far. Okay. Then is next, select count start from fill. So this count star means count is, it's giving you the number of records in the film, number of rows in the film. Okay, so this is 1000. So any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? What is there? All right, we are coming to group by. We are coming to distinct and group by both. Just give me a second. Is there any doubt in this? Aggregate functions. If you have any doubt, please write it in the Padlet. It can't take the floor of the number. Integer by integer will give you integer. Okay. Next is group by. Now, if you see, this is the basic syntax. This is, okay, let's first execute the query, or from the query, we'll see the syntax, because here, if I say you category column name, you will get confused. So, or you can just consider it as a column name. Then we are performing aggregate function on the data column name, from table name, group by category column name. So this is a bit, I'll get back to this. Let's first, yes, for the group by, we are starting, we are working on the table payment, and we want to make, apply the group by on payment. So let's see, how do we do this? First, let's see what is there in the table. So this is the table. As you can see, 14,596 rows are there. This is the payment table. And payment date, amount, rental ID, staff ID, customer ID, and payment ID. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's select customer ID from payment. So this is the customer ID. Now what we are going to do is we are going to apply group by function on the customer ID. And then we are going to create the sum based on customer ID from payment table, and then we are going to order that by some amount. Let's see. Okay, now if you see here, this is the like customer ID. It's a group. Customer, this 318 is a group, and then this is grouped based on the sum of amount of all the payments. And then it's ordered by amount. Let's just run this again so that it's clear to all of you. This is the customer ID. Okay. First need to check the payment table, because group by, it works on categories. So from this, if you see, this is the table 341, 341, 341. So 341 is one category. 342 is another. 343 is another category. Okay. Similarly, there are categories. Can you recognize which of these columns are categorical columns, categorical values? Please use the Padlet area. As I have shown you this customer ID, this 347 makes a group. Okay, then its amount will be summed, and again it will be ordered by amount, ordered by sum of amount. What column from this is the categorical value, categorical column? Please use the Padlet area. Customer ID, staff ID, payment date, yes. Customer and staff, payment date as well. Yes. So we'll create the group by on, we can create group by on any of the categorical columns, but here we are using the customer ID. Okay. So we are applying group by on customer ID. Then we are selecting this customer ID and sum of the amount, and which is ordered by sum. Okay. So this was the output. So this is how it is working. Let's see. And if you want to check, 559 rows are there. So it says 559 customer IDs are there. 559 distinct customer IDs are there. Okay. Now let's see what is there next. Now we are grouping it based on the customer ID and staff ID. And what we want as output is customer ID, staff ID, and sum of the amount and ordered by customer ID. So this time it will be ordered by customer ID. Let's see. Got it? So customer ID, here it is, and this is staff ID, and this is sum. And this is what we desired. Okay. So how would you describe it? What is this giving to all of you? Just look at this query and use the Padlet and just tell me what it is describing. What it is describing. चलो let's इसको bifurcate करके run करते हैं. This is group by. Okay. Now we have, this is the customer ID. This is the output of 59 and 60th row. And if we apply the customer like order by customer ID, then you can see, we have seen already, this order will be sorted according to the customer ID. Got it? So this is the difference. Okay. And similarly, we can bifurcate this as well. So this is customer ID and sum, what we have desired as the output. We have grouped it based on customer ID. And if we order it by some amount, sorry, it wasn't selected. So now you can see the sum is sorted. Now the customer ID is ordered by, like this customer ID and sum are ordered by this. Okay. So what I was asking you, how would you interpret this query? Please use the Padlet. Sum of payment to staff IDs by customer IDs group wise in ascending order. Overall payment paid by customer. Hanji, what about others? Let me just clear the Padlet. Anji, now please write what do you understand by this query? Please use the Padlet and write. It would group customer ID, okay, and then some amount and order it by some amount. What about others? I want all of you to participate, please. Yes. Yes, Shubham. So it says sum of the amount paid by particular customer ID and ordered, it is ordered by sum in the ascending order of sum. Okay, and I can see most of you have written it correctly. All right, so let's see what is next. So next is we have to select date, date from the payment date, only date, sum. We have to calculate the aggregate of amount and from payment, and we have to group it by date. So let's see. This is the, now if you just see, this is date only, there's no time. If you remember the payment table, I'll show you, or let's just see here. This is the query. As you can see, this is timestamps are also there with the time. This is without time zone, but timestamps are also there. So what we are selecting is we are only selecting payment date. We are not interested in timestamps, right? So this is what we have done here. Ordered by date and aggregate of sum, group by date and aggregate of sum, and ordered by sum of amount. So now when we apply order by to it, so it will be sorted by okay? Now it is sorted, you can see, by the sum. Any doubt in the group by? Please use the Padlet area. Any doubt in the group by? Group by with two columns. What does it mean when two columns are used? Two columns we have done already, Saif Raja. Dekho yahan. Okay. Thank you, all of you. Those who are still doubt, you can see we have selected two columns. This date function is being applied on payment date. It will extract date, sum of the amount from the payment table. See, two columns are already there, and it will be grouped by payment date. So category will be payment date. Okay. And sum will be performed according to the payment date. Those who are falling in the same payment date, those that amount will be summed together. And then this is the output. Okay. You want the amount according to the payment date. Suppose 50 payments are made at one day, in one day. So you want the amount of that particular day only, and you want that amount as sorted. So this is without sorting, and if we order it by sum, this is with sorting, with order by. Now is it clear? The above it, okay. Then you must have written the line number. Yes, it says select customer ID and staff ID. Okay, aggregate of sum. So it will give you customer ID, staff ID, and group by customer ID and staff ID. Okay, so what is it? What does it say? Basically, first it will be grouped by this customer ID, and then within this customer ID, there will be staff ID, another group. So it will be like staff ID is sort of a subgroup in the customer ID. So I'll just show you if I could find one example. And if you, just a second, if we order it by customer ID, so now this is ordered by customer ID. Dekho, this is 1, this is 1, and this is 2, 1. So 2, it is ordered by customer ID. So this is customer ID 2, and then this is grouped by, so this is 2, 1. Okay. Hanji. Done. or you still have any doubt? Else we'll just move on to the having clause. Okay, so having allows us to filter after an aggregation has already taken place, and we can use it along with group by. So having is the one which will occur at the last, when the aggregation has already been taken place. Got it? I'll just show you through the example. Okay. So having is the one, having is the last statement. Now, if you see, this is the payment table. We know it already. Okay. You know, it has 6 columns. Now we are selecting customer ID. This is the query we have executed already. Select customer ID, sum of the amount from payment table and group by customer ID. So this is, we have executed it earlier, and in the previous query we had ordered it by sum, right? So now let's see. Let me just see. Yes, here is the having now. Yes. So let's see. Same where customer ID, we are selecting customer ID and aggregate of amount, aggregate sum of amount from payment, where customer ID is not in these numbers, and we are grouping by customer ID. Okay. So now if you see the sum, sorry, the customer ID will not be 184, 87, and 477. If you just go through this output, you won't find these numbers anywhere. And you have done this in the previous class, I believe, where and not in, right? Now we are applying this having clause on sum. Okay. It is grouped by customer ID, and we are applying having sum where amount is greater than 200. So let's first execute this. Okay, this is sum. Now sum should be greater than 200. Here you can see less than 200 numbers are here. So we are only interested where the amount is greater than 200. Sum of amount is greater than 200. So these two customer IDs are there. Okay. So it is like give the customer ID and sum of the amount where sum is greater than 200, where amount is greater than, total sum of the amount is greater than 200. Okay. So, but as you see, having is the one which is used at last. If you just shuffle it, just a second. Because group by is not created yet. So having is the one which is used at last. Okay. Now similarly, we have this. We want to select store ID and the count function on customer ID. From the customer table, we are grouping that by store ID. So we want to make the groups by store ID. These are the store IDs. Okay, it has already included having clause. Where customer ID is greater than 300. Just because a count is performed on the customer ID, and the customer ID should be greater than 300. Earlier, it was this. Okay, 273 was also there, but after applying the having clause, this is filtered. Okay, so is there any doubt in the having clause? What is the order of execution of these statements? Anirudh, first this will be executed, and after that having class will be applied. Okay, I just shuffled the order, and you could see there was an error. It was not getting executed. Okay, no, count does not include the duplicate values. Okay, Hanji, is there any doubt? Please use the Padlet area rather than chat area. We could use not between instead of. Okay, why you just try this, and first before you try this, what is the difference between in and between? Just because you have done it in the previous class. Just a second. Let me just clear this. What is the difference between in and in between? Please use the Padlet and write. Just a second. In works on sequences. Yes, you guys are correct. So let's see. Okay. So those who are having queries on count, let's see. Select count. Count is being performed on amount. We want to see different distinct amounts from the payment table. Total number of count is basically yes. Count is giving you the total number of rows. Distinct is the one which gives you distinct number of rows. Okay. I think I said something like I didn't say the same thing earlier. So this is the count. The count is the number of rows, number of records. Please keep in mind. Okay. Now select count from amount as number of transactions from payment. So it will select the amount and present you as the total number of transactions. So this is the column name, new column name. We are creating we are renaming the column. So this is the okay number of transactions and 14596. Okay, so does this count includes null values or duplicate values? What do you guys say? I guess somebody has written this query here. 5026. Excludes. Is it? Does it exclude null? What this yes is for? It counts null or duplicates? It includes duplicates. And what about nulls? Yes, it includes null value. Count only gives you the number of records. That's it. It is not excluding anything. Okay. Now let's see what is next. So what we are doing now is we are selecting customer ID and performing aggregate sum on the amount column, and that will be given as total spent. This will be given as total spent from the payment table. We are grouping it by customer ID and then we'll apply a having clause after that. Okay, so here you can see the sum amount is now renamed as total spent. And if we apply the having where total spent is greater than 100, so all the values which are less than 100 will be filtered out. Just a second. Total spent. We have created this column now. Okay. All right. So this is the, it will give you error. Whereas if we write it as, actually this is only to rename. To perform having by clause, we have to write this term, sum of amount, which is original column name. Okay. I'll just show you. So let's say if I cut this, and this is what you get. Okay, sum. So original name is the sum, and group by will be performed on sum only. Having will be performed on sum. It will not be performed on the total spent, which is the renaming of the column. Okay, so just keep this in mind. So here you can see the sum of the amount is greater than 100. Got it? Can you understand the difference between these two queries? Those who have doubt, please write it in the Padlet area. A as clause is to rename the column. Nilanjan, see here. Abhi, I just executed it without as. Okay. Let's just execute it without as. So column name you can see is sum, which is being performed on the amount. Okay. Now, if you just put the as clause, so this is what we get, total spent. Now the column name is renamed to total spent. Now is it okay? Line 92, okay. Now this is, okay. Abhi we are applying having clause on total spent, whereas total spent is the newly, is the name only. It is not the original column. So it is not working. It will give you error. Okay. Now, and if you use this sum amount instead of total spent, instead of total spent, so this is what you get. Operation is performed, and if we use the new column name with the having class, it will not be performed. Hanji. Why can't we use where instead of having? Yes, it doesn't change the name internally. Yes. Where is, okay, let's discuss it. Why can't we use where? You guys have done where now? Hanji. Just a second. Let me just clear this and then I'll get back to you. Why can't we use where? You guys have done where? So, what kind of conditions do you put in where? Actually, having is what is having is used with this group by. Okay. Now, if you just write it. See. Let me just capitalize it. Because there does not work with group by function. Sum is the, what was it? Okay. So what was the rules for where? Boolean conditions, yes. What else? All of you, please participate in the discussion. Having is what we use with the group by. Okay, just keep in mind. Here is the as statement. It is used to create the alias for a column or a result. Okay, as operator get executed at the very end of the query, meaning we cannot use alias inside a where or having operator. This is what we have just checked. Got it? Here, this total spent was not working because this total spent is not the original column name. It will be created at the last of the query. Is it clear to all of you? Yes, where is not used on the categories, like on the group by. With group by, we have to use having clause. Anirudh, you are right. Because where is what is applied on a line on rows basically to filter the details from the rows. But if we want to filter the details from the group by, we have to use having clause. Okay, any doubt in this till now? Let's see what next. Okay, joins. So before I start with the join, just take a minute and just recall whatever we have done so far. And if you have any doubt, please write it in the Padlet area. Or you want me to repeat anything, or you want me to 8378. You want me to repeat anything, or you want me to, do you have, in case if you have any doubt? And then we'll start with the joins. Yes, we can do this. To change two column names, let's just do this. As let's say ID. Got it? Understanding the Kanishk, is it clear? We can use twice, thrice, anytime like you want to use it. Okay, what is the query of Barinder Kumar? I am having trouble in understanding execution sequence of the queries. What trouble? Barinder, can you explain it? Can you please explain it a bit? What trouble is there? '90 to '92. Let's just see. Basically, yes, first group by is done. And once this group by is done, we can put the having clause. We can put the condition on it. So having is what is used at last. Second thing, this total spent is the alias for the column name. It is created at the very last of the execution. Like first the sum is performed, group by is done, having is done, and then the column will be renamed as total spent. So we cannot use the having class with the alias. We have to use the having clause with the original column on which the group by or aggregate function is being performed. Okay. And first this group by will be performed, and after that this having will be applied. And as far as I can understand your query is, you are confused like how to write the query, if I'm not wrong. Barinder? first group by is done on CID. Writing query will come with the practice. You will be suppose you have the database and you have been given the scenarios and you are supposed to extract the data. Then by practice you will get to know how to write the query in what order. Okay. So let's move on to the joins now. Inner join, as you can see, there are two tables. This registration ID and log ID. As you can see that there is some event. Let's assume that there is some event and registration ID is the registration, those who have done the registration, and log ID is the ID of the people who have attended the event. Now we want the information those who registered as well as attended. How can you find that? By using the inner join. So inner join will give you the details of the common part, registered as well as logged in to the event and attended the event. Got it? Let's see what is there in the Hanji. So this is the basic syntax, as you can see. Select star from table A, inner join table B, and we have to mention the column name. There will be a column name on which we want to perform the inner join. Okay. Now let's see by example. Select star from payment. Let's see what the payment table is. So in the payment table, you can see you have customer ID. Okay. And let's see the customer table as well. The customer table as well will be having the customer ID. Okay, here's you can see primary key, and this PK is for primary key and customer ID. Okay, now you know both the tables have a common column which is customer ID. So we are going to perform the inner join based on the customer ID. Okay, so let's just get back to the original query. Now, which join we are going to perform is inner join. We want the common data between the payment and the customer table, and the output is based on the customer ID. Okay. So this is the common part. Only the common part will be the given to you. And for the, let's say there are some columns which are not there in the one of the table. For that part, null will be there. Let me just show you if there's any column like this. You guys can check this in okay. You'll see that through full join. So this is how the this is the purpose of performing inner join, and this is how the inner join is performed. Similarly, we have selected everything from these tables. Now, if you want to select payment ID, a few specific column, customer ID. So this customer ID is the one which belongs to customer table. Okay. And first name from the payment table, and inner join will be performed based on customer ID. So this is the condition of the inner join, and the tables used in inner join are customer and payment. Okay, what we want as output is payment ID and customer ID, and this customer ID belongs to the customer table, not the payment table. Okay, let's see what is the output of this. Yes, so this is what we required: payment ID, customer ID, and first name. Okay, So this is payment ID, customer ID, and first name. Inner join is being applied on customer ID from both the tables, customer and payment table. Got it? And inner join is used whenever we want to have the common information from two tables. Okay. Let's see what next. Yes, next is outer join. Outer join is basically full outer and left outer or right outer, as you can see. So this is the full outer join where this table will completely be joined with this table. As you can see, this is the registration table. This only two columns. Okay. So registration table, 4 rows up to 2 columns is copied as it is. After that, the table, the entries from the next table is matched. If you see this Andrew name, name is the column which is common in both of the table. So this registration ID 1 and name Andrew will be matched with login ID 2 and name Andrew. So this is how a row is made, complete row. Okay. Next, if you see registration ID 2, name is Bob, and it will be matched with log ID 4 and name Bob. Got it? Next is third row, which is 3, Charlie. And if you see, next table does not have anything about the Charlie, any information about the Charlie. So this will be left as null. Okay. Now the fourth column is David. So for the David, again, it doesn't have any information. So these columns will be kept as null. Login ID and the name information will be kept as null. Similarly, this table, in this table, we have Xavier and urine. So this Xavier and urine will be copied as it is, whereas the registration ID and name column corresponding to this will be null. This is how outer join, full outer join performs. Okay. And we can combine it with the where clause as well. So as you can see, if we put some condition on it, so we can get a subset of the table. First, we combine it fully, and then we put some condition on it. Okay. Left outer join is left table will be completely there, but information from the right table will not be there. So if you just see here, this is the registration name. So left table is completely there, but right table, the only common part of the right table, which is there in the left table, is there. Rest of the information from the right table will be excluded. As now you can see this, earlier we had written Xavier and urine. Now Xavier and urine are excluded. Whereas in case of right outer join, its reverse will be there. And we can also use where clause with the left outer join. Okay. First of all, is there any doubt in this, how the tables are being combined? If we talk about full outer join, first of all, okay, use the Padlet area and just write why we are using joins. Any one of you. In fact, all of you. Hanji. To merge the tables. Anyone else? Yes. Fetch or retrieve the information. Yes, helps us to understand the relationship between tables. And you have also seen we can apply where clause. First, we combine the table, and then we put some condition on the table and get the data from both the tables. Yes. What about others? Please participate in the discussion. Yes, derive another column. Yes, correct. Okay, so is there any doubt? Is there any doubt from the inner join and outer join and how these are working in theory? Then we'll move on to the tool part. Full outer join, left outer join, with where clause, without where clause. Any idea? Sorry, any doubt? Anything you want me to explain it, or there's any doubt? Yes, it's more or less like same you have used in Python. Yes, Tanmay. Why does the column are being duplicated in inner join? Actually, columns are not being duplicated. Yes, two columns will be there with the same name, one, but those two columns are from different tables, from the different participating tables. Okay. And if you see, we have seen this query where we specified exclusively that we want this customer ID from customer table only. Okay. Examples, please. Okay. So we are moving to the tool. Left outer join. Here is the left outer join. Left table will be complete. Right table, only the information which belongs to the left table is there. Rest of the table is excluded. Huh? See, registration ID, left table is complete. Okay. But in the right table, the information which belongs to the left table will be there, which is, if you see for Andrew, login ID is 2 and name is Andrew. Okay. And then next is Bob. Login ID 4 and name Bob is there. And rest left, just because this is left outer join, left table is complete. So for Charlie and David, entry will be there, registration ID and name will be there, but login ID and name is not there in the right table. So it will kept as null. Okay. Whereas Andrew and Yoren are excluded because this is left outer join. Okay. Got it? Birendra, I hope it's clear to you now. If we want only name, registration ID and login ID, so you can write it in the query, na, select these columns from, as we have done here. So earlier, if you see, it means, see, if we execute this query, all the columns are there. Okay. Customer ID, customer ID. Okay. Now, if we want a subset of columns, then we can specify it with select statement. Now, is it clear?